is David Skur, who's joining us from CAST. They're a charity that helps organisations use technology for social good, like quite a lot of our organisations speaking today. And his work, oh dear, something weird going on. His work is about designing and delivering cross-sector partnerships and programs in order for that to happen. And he's going to be talking about what CAST have been doing with AI, both internally and to support the sector with it. Over to you, David.
Thanks a lot, Carol. Hopefully you can all hear me. And can you see a bright, what is it, green, bluey slide in front of you on the screen?
We can, David.
Brilliant. Great. Fantastic to join you. I'm on the rainy south coast, somewhere between where Ed is in Italy and where you are in Sunderland. And really pleased that I can join you from here. And I really enjoyed the first session. Great to hear from Ed, Claire and Zoe. And what a great program you've put on, Carol and the Von team. Just amazing. Well done. I'm David. I'm a human, definitely not a bot, Claire. And I'm really looking forward to sharing a little bit about how we've been learning about AI in our team, and how we've been creating some of that space that some of you talked about, Ed talked about, in our busy workloads to start experimenting with it responsibly, of course. So I'll dive in. I know we're tight for time. So first of all, CAST, some of you might be familiar with it. We're a charity. So like a lot of you in at this conference, we're also a charity, and we help social impact organizations use digital for social good. So our work would include running digital capacity building programs. We've collaborated with Von on some programs around the Climate Action Alliance. Network building, we've been incubating the Catalyst Network, which some of you might be familiar with, for the past 2 or 3 years. We also provide bespoke tech consultancy training, lots of other things. But let's dive in. We've been asking ourselves a question, probably the same as a lot of you, especially on the back of this first session. How might we gain more confidence and practical knowledge of generative AI? So we're on a learning journey. We all are, and we've been starting it maybe for about a year or so. So since OpenAI deployed ChatGPT into the world, it's this big experiment, and we all became kind of giddy and anxious with the opportunities and challenges that came with it. So we were really keen to build our confidence in a safe space, build our practical knowledge, explore some of the opportunities, challenges for our work. For our day-to-day work, kind of how it aligns with our strategic objectives, and also how it might benefit the wider sector, and really also be better informed about its pitfalls, right? And ensure that civil society plays a key role in shaping the future evolution of AI, because there's a really important role we can play in that. So a couple of things that we've done. I just want to move to something practical. Like we've heard really some of the possibilities, challenges. This is how we've started bringing that into our day-to-day work. So building a shared understanding and creating that space initially to learn from others has been really important for us. So we champion a very networked approach to tackling big challenges across society, and this is no different. So really learning together, being really open about it, and tapping into our networks and our partners and trusted collaborators to find out what everyone else is doing and help us gain some of that core grounding. So we run a digital leads network, a sort of a network for charity digital leads to share practice, share knowledge. We ran a couple of sessions with them, AI 101s, similar to what you've heard from Ed there in the first session, and also kind of building on some use cases, so you get sort of tangible impact, and you kind of really start to demystify what AI is and see what it can really do in practice. And it's great to see that in this program we've got Andy Bell from Help First sharing some of the work they've done with Citizens Advice Scotland. Andy also came into our team and shared some of that. So really important to find out what others are doing. Arrange some meetups like you're doing, Carol and the team today, this afternoon, dedicating space to just find out, learn, and see how others are feeling about it, but also how others are starting to bring it into their service delivery. And you'll be hearing, I think, from Majid from Catch 22 later on too. Majid is a member of the Digital Leads Network, and we ran a meetup with some of Majid and some of his peers as charity digital leads, sharing how they've been experimenting with AI throughout the kind of past few months. And of course, proactively going to webinars and carry on learning. We've heard from Ed from Torchbox. They're on loads of great sessions on AI for not-profits. There's lots of really good organizations out there that are able to, for free, initially, at least, provide some of that support. So we've been leaning on that expertise and that kind of trusted networks that we are part of, or some of them that we co-run, to really tap into that knowledge and that hive mind. We've brought some of that back internally. We have brunch and learn sessions. We've started discussing, reflecting, processing. What does it mean for us? How do we feel about it? What you were talking about, Claire. Not just doing it, but like, how do we feel about this? And then starting to align some of that in strategic sessions, and thinking about like co-developing policies around the use of AI and aligning it with some of our missions. The most exciting bit, though, is like creating space to experiment, and what Ed was talking about. Testing and learning, having that iterative approach, which is very hard to do when we're time poor, we've got busy workloads, we don't want to go to more meetings, and also we don't want to be reckless. What Claire was talking about, we want to try and do this responsibly. So we came up with a little format that could work really well asynchronously, so people didn't have to go into more meetings and could kind of chip in and out asynchronously, and then we would come together in person to do some show and telling and some demos. And we call this an AI Tech Jam. It's a collaborative space to build some awareness and confidence on AI. This is for our team, and have a play with new generative AI tools and identify some use cases. We've designed this using collaborative tools, Slack. We've got a dedicated AI channel on Slack to share any links or events or things that we think are of interest, and a Miro board, which is a whiteboarding tool, so people can kind of go and feed the space, start nurturing it, and then we can start distilling, extracting from that the stuff that really seems relevant, and come together and share some of that virtually in person. So this is a very quick run through of how we set it up. So there's a learning journey for everyone. There's a little warm up. So we cherry picked top 3 resources. So everyone knows what we're talking about. Everyone starts on a level playing field across the team. There's maybe a podcast, a video, a little blog, something fun. So a little tool to have fun with AI. So it's not, just a couple of icebreakers that can be done asynchronously. And then, Claire, what you were talking about is so important, right? How we're each feeling about AI, because it's having such an impact. It's overwhelming. Some people are really excited by it. Some people are anxious. Some people are feeling both. So we are invited the team to, just populate this emotions matrix. So sensing where high energy is, where low energy is, where are the negative feelings, where are the positive feelings, and what does that look like? So that's been really important starting points for us before we sort of grab ChatGPT and start using it for data synthesis, for instance. We've asked everyone to share how they've been using AI in their team, and of course, responsibly, so ensuring that there's no sensitive data, confidential data fed into these tools, kind of rule number 1. So what problem are you trying to solve when you're using an AI tool? Why did you pick that one? Was it helpful? What other things to consider if we were to sort of start embedding this into our working practices? It could be stuff around data privacy, it could be around storage, it could be around costs. So really kind of mapping all that out. And then being able to then before we come together in this live tech jam, build some case scenarios, some use cases, and then inviting different members of the team to do a show and telling, like you're doing today. I love the little fringe demo sessions, Carol and Georgia. So like that kind of approach, but with a bit of preliminary work beforehand. So we've done a bit of mapping and sense checking first. And then, of course, looking at the opportunities and risks. So if we're excited about a specific tool, we think it can help solve a specific problem in our day-to-day work, what might that look like if we wanted to start bring it into our workflows? And then looking together at practical next steps. So what we're learning from that, we've identified case scenarios in our team. We realized lots of us were doing interesting things had different needs. Data synthesis is one of them. I can see the slides are flicking through. I'm speeding through this because I've got my timer, Carol, so you don't have to interrupt me, tell me off. Data synthesis. So, hey, some of us needed summarizing some user research data from a survey, or summarizing a one-to-one call with a program participant. Of course, all anonymized data. How can we save time doing that so we're not doing lots of manual input, manual typing, etc.? So we looked at bespoke tools, but also using the free tools out there like ChatGPT and Notion AI. We've been looking at note-taking, transcribing. Realized many of us were straight away using AI tools for transcribing, stakeholder meetings, marking actions, sharing summaries. And really saving time and helps facilitation, helps everyone being present in the meeting, and really helps asynchronous work so people can catch up, but just by watching a recording at a specific timestamp, getting a summary. And we've used tools like Fathom, Otter AI, and of course now Zoom AI Companion is built into Zoom. So gradually you'll see all the big use, the tools that we're using, the big tech suites that we're using are gradually embedding and integrating this functionality into their core features. Generating images, we touched on it earlier through Ed's talk, and we've found this so helpful when generating new images for a new web section. So we've been redeveloping our website. We've only got one, comms lead in our team. We're a small team. So how can we lean onto some of the potential of AI to help us get some new fun design, some images? And we've been using Canva AI for that. I know you've got a demo on Canva later on, or you had it earlier. Canva Magic Studio is amazing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I invite you to go and join whoever member of the team is doing that demo, because it's absolutely amazing. And by the way, these are not recommendations of tools. It's just things that we've tried. And it's more kind of, highlighting the different use cases that are emerging from our team just by running that kind of experimental space through the Tech Jam. We need to carry on engaging with it. And I think what Ed was saying was really, really resonated. You just don't know what you don't know. And having that ongoing collaborative and learning process, sharing at events like today, joining discussions, working openly, will help us co-build learning resource hub. We started putting together all the stuff that's coming at us, cut through the noise into an Airtable database where you kind of can filter by policies and guidelines, by case studies, by research and thought pieces for the team. So you can really kind of cherry pick what you need based on your own kind of role and your own priorities, and cut through the noise, because that's also can be quite overwhelming and draining. So much coming at us with AI. Fact finding is something that we're really keen to be involved in, finding out where charities need support to explore AI for their practice. Where are the gaps? So look out for a survey coming out the next couple of weeks across the sector, across our networks. We want to find out how you're using it and where you need support, so we can help influence and shape some of that support into the new year. And finally, there's a really vital role for civil society to shape the future of AI. And the more we engage and understand it, the more we spend time in sessions like today, the more influence we can have in ensuring that it can be used for positive social impact. So I think that's really important. We can bring it into can build efficiencies, can help us save time, but also we can play a really important strategic role in helping shape AI and make sure it enables, do really good stuff in the world. So I'm going to leave it at that, with that kind of a little provocation, and say thanks to Carol and the team again. What an amazing program. Looking forward to the rest. I think Andy and Majid are next for some really concrete use cases. So looking forward to that. Thank you.